This could go one of two ways, and I'm pretty sure I know which way it's gonna go. Hi, welcome, come on in. My name is Aoife, and today I am going to set myself a little challenge based on a video that I saw done by Emma from Drinking by My Shelf that was recommended to her by Busy Bookcase. I am going to try and give you a book recommendation for every letter of the alphabet, but I'm going to add in a little bit extra from Emma's video in that I'm going to time it. So let's see how long it's going to take me to come up with a book, get through the whole 26 letters of the alphabet. Let me see if I can do this. Okay. So, A, All American Girl by Meg Cabot, which is about a girl called Sam who thwarts an assassination attempt on the US president and then falls in love with his son. B is Beartown by Fredrik Backman, which is set in a northern Swedish town and follows a community that's really big on hockey, and one of the hockey players is convicted of rape, and it's kind of the whole them versus them, whose side are you taking in the book. C, we're struggling already. I have surely read them. The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. I haven't read it. I am sure it's a really good book, but I haven't read it yet. D, Don't Forget About Me by Barry McFarlane, which is a kind of a romance chick lit book. I read it a couple of years ago and I am a little bit shaky on the details. E, Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton, which is a kind of a memoir about romantic love, parental love, family and love, platonic love, friendship love, all of those kind of love situations that you can put into your life. F, Fields of Home by Marisha Collin McKenna is the third book in the Children of the Famine series, and it follows, I think, Eiley, who is now an adult as she had been a child in the first book, and has a family of her own, and how she is kind of building her life as an adult in Ireland after the famine had been. G, Golden Girl, Goose Girl, Golden Girl, Goose Girl, Golden Girl. Goodbye Stacey. G is Goodbye Stacey by Anne M. Martin, who Stacey is one of the members of the Babysitters Club, and she leaves Connecticut for New York to go back with her parents. And she comes back like 3 books later because they divorce, and she comes back with her mother. H is for Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. It's one of the biggest books on BookTube at the moment. I haven't read it yet. I am really excited to read it. I is Alice Oseman's I Was Born for This, which is about a girl who really follows the career of a band, and one of them is trans and kind of coming to terms with his sexuality. And I don't think it's out to the people that follow the band, but it comes out throughout the course of the book. What comes after I? J. Just the Way You Are by Lindsay James. I can't remember the plot of this book. I don't think it's one of the Luna Bay trilogy. I think it's a standalone book by itself. K is Killing Commander Torre by Haruki Murakami. I haven't read it, but my partner read it a couple of months ago and he really enjoyed it. Landline by Rainbow Rowell, which is about a woman who picks up a phone and can call her husband from 20 years ago. M is Marianne Saved the Day by Anne M. Martin, again one of the Babysitters Club's books. I think this is about Marianne babysitting for a child who goes into a diabetic hypoglycemia, or they have some kind of a medical emergency during the book, and Marianne is there to save the day, basically. N is New York, New York by Anne M. Martin, which is one of the Babysitters Club summer specials, and I think all of the club members go to New York for the summer. LMNO. Over the Top by Jonathan Van Ness, which is his autobiography, and it kind of tells his story about growing up in small town Illinois, and how he came to audition and become one of the cast members of Queer Eye, and then everything that comes in between in his life. LMNOP. The Princess Diaries by Meg Cabot, which follows Mia, who's a 14-year-old, and her father tells her that she is the heir to a very small European monarchy. Q, Queenie by Candy Curtis Williams. I just read that a couple of months ago and it was a really good book. It is about Queenie, who is 25. She's living in London. She's Jamaican, and she is kind of going around dating and kind of figuring out who she is. Or Revolutionary Road. I don't know who it's written by. I don't think it's Jack Kerouac, and I don't think Cormac McCarthy. I think that's who it's written by. I've seen the film and it depressed me, so I'm probably not going to read the book. S. S. Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reid is about Amira, who's 25. She's black. She lives in Philadelphia. And one night when she's out looking after the white child that she takes care of as a babysitter, she is accosted by a person in the shop who thinks that she has stolen the child. T. Tweet Cute by Emma Lord, which is about Jack and Pepper, whose parents own kind of feuding rival diners in New York, and they both have really great cheese sandwiches and they both have really great menus, and it's about the rivalry that their parents have, but also they have a kind of a text relationship with each other, but they don't know that it's the other because all the texts are anonymous. T.U. Unfiltered by Sophie White, which is the second book in a series about Ali, who at the end of the first book is trying to become an influencer, but the ways that she's trying to become an Instagram influencer are kind of backfiring on her. And it's kind of the story about what she's going to do now that it's all backfired. Is she going to be able to still be an influencer from now? Do I even know a book that starts with V? Vivian, Viviscal, Vesuvius. There's probably a DK book about Vesuvius, and if you want to learn about Vesuvius, read it. It's probably really good. I don't want to learn about Vesuvius because volcanoes actually kind of terrify me. I cannot think of a single book that starts with the letter V. There's probably one about a character called Vivian or Valerie or something like that. I probably have got one flying around on my NetGalley shelf somewhere, but I'm going to have to skip that one for now. W, Where the Crawdads Sing, is by Delia Owens, and it is about a girl called Kyra who is the marsh girl, and she kind of grew up in a marshy area and kind of outside of the townspeople and doesn't really interact with them, but there is a murdered case in the area that she grew up in. Everybody is pointing fingers at her. WX. Okay, this is going to be really difficult too. I don't even think I know about a book called X. Is there a book about the X-Men? There's probably a book to film of the X-Men. We're going to go with that. Y. You and Me on Vacation by Emily Henry, which is her second novel, and it is about two friends who've known each other for 10 years and they've kind of thrown apart. But they come together 10 years later again to go on a final holiday before they go on their separate ways. That is probably going to be a really difficult one too. I think I'm going to have to leave it there, but 9 minutes and 44 seconds is kind of not bad to get through the entire alphabet. So let's see how you can do. I am going to challenge everybody who wants to take this to have a look through the whole alphabet and see if you can recommend a book for every single letter that there is. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I have new videos up every week. Now, get on out of here.